Welcome students in our ongoing chapter of surface area and volume. This is our fifth lecture, students. Okay, fifth lecture and the second lecture for the cone. In the first three lectures we completed cylinders and this is now the second lecture for cone. I have noted down all the formulas as this is the second lecture. Before watching this lecture, you must watch the first lecture of the cone. That is the fourth lecture of this chapter, fourth part. Okay, the formulas I have written on the board. Curved surface area of cone is pi RL. Total surface area is pi RL plus the circular base, which is pi r square. Volume is 1 upon 3 pi r square h. And the fourth one, we have a relationship between L, R and H. L is the lateral or slant height, H is a normal height, and R is the radius. So L square equals to R square plus H square. The question on the board, students, was asked in the board exams of 2006. Okay, it was asked in the board exams of 2006. It is a very amazing sum, students. That's the reason I have selected this. Okay, a vessel in the form of an inverted cone. Listen one thing please. I'll explain you each and everything and will be very quick. A vessel in the form of an inverted cone. There is one vessel and it's like inverted cone. What do you mean by inverted cone? In the first lecture, I already told you all that whenever a cone is mentioned, so by default, a cone is always a joker cap. This is a normal cone. This is a normal cone. But when they say inverted cone, it means the ice cream cone. So you have to draw something like this. It's like this, the inverted cone and ice cream cone. Okay, this is a normal cone. A vessel in the form of an inverted cone, this is a vessel, is filled with water to the brim. Okay, so let's draw the water with blue color. So water is filled in this. So students, see this, water is filled up to the brim. Okay, up to the brim the water is filled. No space is left. Okay, now let's read ahead. Water is filled with it's filled with the water up to the brim. Its height is 20 centimeter. That means the vessel ka height is 20 centimeter. So always when nothing is mentioned, only height is given, it's always the perpendicular height, students. Okay, it's the perpendicular height. So I'll write the dimension here, 20 centimeter. Of course it's the perpendicular height. Okay, it's not the lateral height, the slant height, it's the perpendicular height. This is always h, and here the value of h is 20 centimeter. Okay, and this will be the radius. Is the value of radius given to us? Diameter is 16.8 centimeter. Diameter is given to us. Okay, 16.8 centimeter. 16.8 centimeter. So radius is what? Dividing by 2. Divide diameter by 2. So now students, if I divide diameter by 2, 16.8 divided by 2 will be what? 8.4. So this will be 8.4 centimeter. Okay, so my this is D. Diameter is 16.8 centimeter. So radius will be half of it, 8.4 centimeter. This is the data given to us. Two equal solid cones are dropped in it. From here, now the sum starts. That's the reason I selected this sum. Please see here. Two equal solid cones. Two equal solid cones. Two equal solid cones are dropped into it. Which cones? Solid cones. Solid cones, matlab they are not hollow. They are filled with the material. Two equal solid cones are dropped into it. So they are fully submerged. Fully submerged means they do not float at the top. They are submerged. Okay, fully submerged. Okay, let me draw for you all two solid cones. So this red color denotes the two small solid cones which are put inside this vessel. So they're fully submerged. Now students, pay attention. It's a basic common sense. Initially the water was at the brim, up to the brim. When you insert two solid cones, so that two solid cones which were inserted inside it need some space, because there was no space. The vessel, the big conical vessel was fully up to the brim with water. So when I put two solid cones into it, it's very but natural that some water would be overflowed. Some water would be overflowed. Why? Why water is overflowed? Basic reason is जगह नहीं है. We can say layman terms में जगह नहीं है. Water was filled up to the brim. When we put two solid cones inside it, the water flowed outside. But technically, if we ask physics, that oh physics Baba, tell us that what is the volume of this water which is overflowing? What is the volume of this water which is overflowing? Physics Baba will say that volume of the water overflow will be equal to the volume of these two cones. I again repeat, physics will say the volume of water overflowed from this container, the big conical vessel, will be equal to the volume of these two small solid cones. So if I ask why, what's the reason? The answer will be every matter occupies space. These two cones are also matter, so they occupy space. And how much space will these two cones occupy? The space occupied by these two cones will be equal to their volume. So they will have to displace water. उनको पानी को हटाना होगा to fit themselves. And how much place they take? They take the place which is equal to their volume. So that much amount of water they will flow. That much amount of water will flow outside because they need space. So only the amount of water which will flow outside will be equal to the volume of these two cones, because volume of these two cones will displace the water. Displace the water means there is no space left initially in the container. So these two cones will throw out the water, which will be equal to their volumes, because that much place they need. That's the reason they are throwing out the water. This is the water overflowed. And students, just now we discussed that amount of water overflowed will be equal to the volume of these two small cones. So V for volume of water overflowed will be equal to volume of two small cones. Understanding, students? Up till now I have not read the full question. Some part is left, but up till now have you understood this? This is very, very important. Actually, we already covered this part in a series of lectures with the cylinder. Okay, students. So volume of water overflowed is nothing but volume of two small cones. Okay, now let's read the question once again. There will be something new for us. Please read this. Two equal solid cones are dropped in it. So they are fully submerged. As a result, 1/3 of the water in the original cone overflows. Okay, I have not read that. As a result, 1/3 of the water in the original cone overflows. Original cone means the big conical vessel. Original cone means the big conical vessel. As a result, when we put two small solid cones, as a result, 1/3 of the water in the original cone overflows. So students, what is given about this? 1/3 means 1/3 into volume of big cone. Because it's clearly mentioned कि जो भी पानी बाहर गिरा, it is what? It is 1/3 of the original water present in the original conical vessel. So volume of water overflowed is 1/3 into volume of big cone. Big cone is this one. Okay, is equal to now it's given to us that volume of two small cones. Now volume of two small cones ko can I change the language? It's given volume of two small cones because we have inserted two small cones, two small solid cones we have inserted. So can I change the sentence and can I write 2 multiply by volume of one small cone? So see students, for your understanding, what I am doing over here is I am addressing the big cone, the conical vessel, by naming it as big cone, and I am addressing these two solid small cones as writing as small cone. Okay, So 1/3 of the volume of big cone will be equal to 2 into volume of one small cone. That's it, students. What is asked to us? What is asked? Let's read now. Still the last line is remaining. What is the volume of each cone submerged? So volume of each cone submerged, that we can get easily. I'll send this 2 down. This 2 I'll send down on the left hand side. Okay, I'll send it down. So I'll just be remaining with this part. And this is what? Volume of one small cone. And they are asking the same thing. What is the volume of each cone which is submerged? Each cone which is submerged means volume of the small solid cone which we are putting inside the vessel. Okay, so now let's substitute the formulas. Okay, now please understand, students. Please understand carefully over here. Just see here, please. This 1/3 I am copying as it is 1/3 multiply by. Now volume of big cone. Volume of big cone. What's the formula for volume of big cone? The formula for volume of cone will remain same, 1/3 pi r square h. Okay, but for the big cone I have used the capital letters, capital R and capital H. So formula will be 1/3 pi capital R square and capital H. So this 1/3 copied as it is. It was this 1/3 came from where? From the question, from the data. And volume of big cone का formula क्या है? 1/3 pi r square h. Don't get confused कि दो बार 1/3 कहाँ से आ गया? This 1/3 was given in the question that 1/3 third water overflowed from the original cone. So this 1/3 came from the data and this 1/3 came from the formula. Okay. Now this 2 for the first line I'll write as it is. Volume of one small cone. Okay. This is asked, so I'll write as it is. Therefore 1/3 multiply by 1/3 multiply by pi. The value of pi will be what? 22/7, as nothing is mentioned in the question. Multiply by r square. What is the radius for the big cone? It's 8.4. R square means I have to write it 2 times. So I'll write 8.4 multiply by 8.4. Students, instead of writing the numbers with decimal point, I'll write 84/10 multiply by 84/10. 8.4 into 8.4 2 times लिखने से अच्छा मैं 84/10 2 times लिखता हूँ. Multiply by h. Height. What is the height? Height is 20 centimeters is given. 20. Okay. This 2. So remember, this 2 will come on at the denominator of the left hand side. So multiply by 1/2 is equal to volume of one small cone. Okay. So now we can easily find out the answer. So therefore volume of one small cone will be what? There will be many cancellations over here. Pay attention, please. All of you, please pay attention. Now see this, please. This 0 and this 0 goes off. Okay, so it's 2. It's 2. So 2 cancels. Now I can say 7 ones are. 7 ones are is 7. It's 8 to carry 1. 7 twos are becomes 14. Okay. Now see this. 3 ones are is 12. So 3 fours are is 12. Here also I have 3 here. Okay, and here I have 84. 8 plus 4 is 12. So 84 goes in 3. 3 ones are. Okay, and here it is 3 twos are is 6. Carry 2. It becomes 24. 3 eights are is 24. Students, I can see there is 1 time 10 remaining in the denominator. See, I'll highlight for you all. Don't forget, this is 1 time 10 remaining in the denominator. But I can see, I can easily do this. Get 2 twos are 4 and 2 fives are 10. But I will not do. Then what I'll do with the 5? So don't disturb this 10 because it's not getting cancelled totally. Don't disturb this 10. And how many numbers are remaining in the numerator? This 22 is remaining. This 4 is remaining. Okay, this 28 is remaining. Any other things are remaining? No. 22, 4, 28 is remaining. And in the denominator 10 is remaining. Okay, great. Okay, so now let's do it. 22 multiply by 4 multiply by 28 the whole upon 10. Okay, so now it's just the multiplication. So when you do the multiplication, 22 multiply by 4 multiply by 28, your answer will be 2464. 2464 upon 10. So you have to just place one decimal point. Okay, so the volume will be equal to 246.4, and it's the volume. So centimeter cube. Volume of one small cone is 246.4 centimeter cube. Don't forget to write centimeter cube. Understanding, students? Now students, you have to leave lines between every step. Pause the video and please start. And the last question for this lecture, once again a very simple question. radius and height of a cone are in the ratio. Radius and height of a cone are in the ratio 8:15. Plenty of time, students, we have done such questions. In the cylinder also we have done this type of questions, that whenever ratios are given, first of all in maths, it's a general thing I'm saying, not for this chapter, whenever ratios are given, we always say let the common multiple be x, because we can't say कि radius is 8 and height is 15, because ratios can be the reduced form also. So let the common multiple be x. Always in the entire mathematics, whenever ratios are given, we say let the common multiple be x, and then we can relate them. So radius will be 8x and height will be 15x. Okay, and the volume is also given. Oh great, volume is 8038.4. Find radius and curved surface area. Okay, and very important thing in this question, precisely they have mentioned that use the value of pi as 3.14. So if by mistake you solve the full question correctly but with the value of 22/7 as we do normally, you will get a zero, a big zero. It's compulsory that answers should be with this pi. Even if your answers are correct, you'll get zero if you are not using this value of pi. Okay, now the first step, students, I'll say let the common multiple be x, as ratio is given. So I'll say ratio of radius and height is given. So radius is to height is what? 8:15. Let the common multiple be x. Therefore radius becomes 8x and height becomes 15x. What things are asked over here? Two things. First is the radius r, and second is curved surface area, and value of pi is given to us. Okay, then what other things are given to us? We got to know that radius is 8x and height is 15x. Volume is given to us. Okay, so volume is given to us. Volume is 8038.4. Students, can I say it's a big data given to us, a big achievement that volume is given to us? So without wasting any time, can I start with the volume? What is the formula for volume of a cone? Of course this question deals with a cone. So what's the formula for volume of a cone? Volume is 1/3 pi r square h. At the place of pi, of course, you will substitute 3.14. At the place of r, it's r square. At the place of r, you will substitute 8x. Value of r is 8x. At the place of h, you will substitute 15x. So we have all the values. So volume the formula is 1/3 pi r square h. Okay, please pay attention now. Please pay attention. Okay, at the place of volume, I can substitute the value of this 8038.4. I am not substituting below because I don't have place. That's why I'm going horizontally. You should not do that. Okay, so is equal to 1/3 into, at the place of pi, I'll put 3.14 into r square. What's my value of r? My value of r, I don't have the precise value. 8x. So I'll write 8x. R square it is. Okay, r square. Value of r is 8x. So 8x ka square multiply by h. H is what? 15x. Okay, now can I substitute anything in the place of this volume? Yes, we know the value for volume. Volume is 8038.4 centimeter cube. So at the place of volume, students, I'll substitute 8038.4 is equal to, okay, now this is the huge thing, it's like 15x over here. Can I say 3 ones are and 3 fives are is 15? Okay, so now I'm left with this 3.14, okay, multiply by 8x the whole square. So 8 ka square is 64, multiply by x ka square, so it's x square. Okay, this is multiplication into 5x, okay. Now students, see, I don't like this decimal points. Do you like it? No, of course you also don't like it, I know. So therefore 8038, I was having decimal point just after one digit, so I am not writing that decimal point. Instead of that, I am putting upon 10. Because I was having decimal point after one digit, I just put upon 10 is equal to, it's 3.14. Can I write 314 upon 100? Yes, because I was having decimal point after two digits. Into, now I have 64 and 5. See, I'm not multiplying anything. 64 I'm writing as it is, 5 I'm writing as it is, and this x square and x, when gets multiplied, it becomes x cube. it becomes x cube. Now on the left hand side I have one term, and right hand side, don't say that we have four terms, 1 2 3 4. It's one term because we have multiplication in between them. Now students, can I say this 0 and this 0 can go off? So I'm just left with this. Okay, and I can do some cancellation also here. 5 1s are 5 2s are is 10. Okay, and 2 1s are here I can write 2 1s are 2, so carry over 1, it becomes 11. 2 5s are is 10, carry over 1 becomes 14, so 2 7s are is 14. Now I want to find the value of this x cube. I want to find the value of this x cube. So I'll keep this x cube here only on the right hand side. Okay, I'll throw all the numbers which are on the right hand side on the left hand side. Okay, now can I say on the right hand side I have 157 here, I have 64 here, that's it, no other numbers are left. So this 157 will come at the down, at the bottom, at the place of denominator of 80384, and the 64 will also come down. So this becomes 80384 upon 157 multiplied by 64. So see, don't multiply. Okay, is equal to x cube. Yes, amazing, amazing students. Now it's just the matter of playing with the numbers. Let's start with the 2. Okay, can I say students now 2 3s are is 6 and 2 2s are is 4, and here I can write, I'll go in this way, 2 4s are is 8, 0 as it is 0, 2 1s are is 2, it was 3, so carry 1, it becomes 18, 2 9s are 18 and 2 2s are is 4. Can I say this goes in 4 times table and this will also go in 4 times table? So 4 8s are, it's 32. Okay, 4 10s are is 40. Here comes 1. 1 is a small number, so I have to put a 0 over here. So then I can take 19. 4 4s are is 16. Carry 3 becomes 32. 4 8s are is 32. Once again, can I go with 4 times table? Yes, I can go. 4 2s are is 8. 4, I'll say 4 25s are is 100. You should know that, huh? 25 4s are is 100. So 4 25s are is 100. 4 1s are and 4 2s are. 2 1s are, 2 1s are, 2 2s are is 4, it's 5, so carry 1, it becomes 11. 2 5s are is 10, carry 1, it becomes 12. So 2 6s are is 12. So therefore, what I am left with, I am left in the numerator I have 1 2 5 6, in the denominator I am left with this 157 is equal to x cube. Okay, now students, what to do? Can you all please guide me what to do? Here I have 7, in the units place I have 7. Let's count 7 times table. 7 7s are 49, 7 8s are 56. I'm just looking at the 7. 7 7s are 49, 7 8s are 56. So at the last 6 comes, so this hints me out that let's try for this 157. So 157 multiply by 8. 7 8s are 56, carry 5. 8 5s are 40 plus 5 becomes 45, carry 4. 8 1s are 8 plus 4 becomes 12. 1 2 5 6. So 157 1s are, 157 8s are. Okay, students. So therefore x cube is equal to 8. Therefore x is equal to 2. That's it. We got the value of x. Students, hope you all remember that we have supposed here, let the common multiple be x. So can I say here r was 8x, we got the value of x, so can we get r, and similarly I can get the value of h also over here. So let's do it now. Let's do it. First I'll find the value of r, because it's asked to me also over here. R is what? R is 8x. So 8 into x, x is 2, 8 2s is 16, so 16 centimeter. This is the value of r. And h, let's find h also. H is how much? H is 15x. 15x is equal to 15 multiplied by x. The value of x is 2. So this becomes 15 2s are 30. Becomes 30 centimeter. Yes, students. So we got our values. We got the value of r. We got the value of h. R was asked to us and h was not asked. But then too we found out. Okay. Is our sum completed here? No, students, no. See here, please, all of you see here. Curved surface area is asked, students. Curved surface area. Now I want you all to please complete up till here. Then please don't wait for me. You can start. What's the formula for curved surface area? Formula for curved surface area is pi RL. Pi, you will take 3.14. At the place of R we just got to know it's 16 centimeter. And L we don't know, students. But students, we found out the value of H. So with this relationship, can I find the value of L? R is 16 and H we just got to know is 30. So with this relationship, first you need to find L, and after finding L, we'll apply this formula of curved surface area. That's it. So please pause the video, complete up till here by your own. Then please proceed, don't wait for me. Okay? Don't wait for me, please. I'll just be solving it. The first step will be, because I know the value of R and H, I'll find L first. And then I'll apply the formula of curved surface area. That's it, students. Pause the video, please, and do it fast. Now, students, as I already discussed with you, but just I'll explain you how you should get the answer. Second thing, we need to find curved surface area. Formula for curved surface area is pi RL. When we see the formula, we come to know that we know pi, which is 3.14. R, we just found out in the previous step that R and the values of R and H. Okay, but we don't know the value of L. But we know the value of R and H. So we'll use this relationship. L square is equal to R square plus H square. The square of L goes on the right hand side to become square root. So L is equal to R ka square. R was 16. So 16 ka square becomes 256. And H ka square. So 30 ka square becomes 900. 256 plus 900 comes to 1156. Square root of 1156, it comes to be 34 centimeter. So slant height L is 34 centimeter. Curved surface area ka formula is pi RL. At the place of pi, I substituted 3.14. At the place of R, 16. At the place of L, 34. So when you multiply this 3.14 with 16 and with 34, you'll get the answer, the curved surface area, as 1708.16 centimeters square, because it's an area. Hope you all have solved this question, students. Okay, so basic thing in this chapter is just to mug up the formulas, and that's it. We just have to substitute. Please pause the video, students, and complete this part also.